Hey guys, it's Allison. I hope you are all staying well, hopefully healthy physically and mentally. I'm going to be speaking on John chapter 8, and the first verse that stood out to me was Jesus' response to the woman after asking if any of the people accusing her of adultery had condemned her, and she said no. And in verse 11 he says, "Then neither do I condemn you. Go now and leave your life of sin." And I think this is a really important verse because it's a reflection of how we are to live after receiving our salvation. We were caught in the act of sinning, and instead of getting the punishment we deserve, we were saved. But then we are also called to leave our life of sin. So to let our old selves die and to no longer have the desire to commit sin or to justify our sins. And then the second part that really stood out to me were verses 51 through 53. So the whole rest of this chapter is the Pharisees the Pharisees and the Jews fighting with Jesus, or challenging him in a sense. And in these verses, Jesus says, "Very truly I tell you, whoever obeys my word will never see death." At this they exclaimed, "Now we know that you are demon-possessed. Abraham died, and so did the prophets, yet you say whoever obeys your word will never taste death. Are you greater than our father Abraham? He died, and so did the prophets. Who do you think you are?" And this is one of the last things they say to Jesus, and by saying, "Who do you think you are?" this is actually, they're kind of repeating, they become really redundant throughout this chapter, where they're just misunderstanding, they're not believing who he is. And although Jesus is speaking with them as they're unbelievers, I think this is also similar to kind of how God interacts with us, in a sense that he has such great patience for us, even when we are misunderstanding him or so focused in our own lives, especially on an earthly basis, that we tend to miss out on the things that are more important eternally and heavenly, things beyond what we're experiencing. But yet he is still choosing to interact with us. He doesn't abandon us. So that's just kind of how I reflected on these verses. I don't know what you guys thought. So I'd appreciate feedback. If you agree with what I said or just have any additional thoughts, they would be appreciated. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and just continue to stay in the Word during this time.